Here in San Diego, our government just rammed through a mileage tax. 4 cents per mile for every mile we drive. It's catastrophic. It's all in the name of climate change, a non-existent, made-up problem designed to take away our freedoms and rob us of our money. Stay tuned. We'll show you how it's being done.
Is that good lineup? Perfect. Okay. I'm standing here on the Silver Strand State Beach south of Coronado, California, to illustrate the fallacy of sea level rise. It's not happening. Behind me, by the way, is the fashionable town of Coronado, California. We're standing on the Silver Strand, a brief isthmus of land that runs between Coronado down 6 miles to Imperial Beach. It's about a quarter-mile wide. It's no more than a few feet above sea level at its highest point, and believe me, there's absolutely no talk of sea level rise here or anywhere in San Diego. The sea level has not risen even 1 millimeter here in forever, here or in the entire San Diego region. Keep in mind that all of the oceans of the world are interconnected. If sea level was rising anywhere, it would be rising everywhere. To my right is the vast Pacific Ocean. It stretches all the way across to China and Asia. To our far south is Antarctica, lots of ice down there that's apparently not melting like they're telling us. And then further beyond that is the Indian Ocean. None of these seas could be rising, because if any one of them was rising, it would be rising right here. This strip of land would soon be underwater, according to those who are promulgating that lie. We're not concerned about it here. The sea level is not rising one bit. It's not rising in Coronado, California, on the Silver Strand Beach, or anywhere here in our area. We do see articles about sea level rise in California at various places, but it's not happening. So keep that in mind.
This map shows the Silver Strand. It runs from Coronado south toward Imperial Beach. It separates the Pacific Ocean on the left from San Diego Bay. Now, I have been challenged on my remarks about non-existent sea level rise, but they are centered on anecdotal remarks or comments from old-timers in Imperial Beach who claim that the sea level is rising there. Well, if it was rising there, it would be rising on the Silver Strand, and it's not. These are the kind of falsehoods that are being foisted on us every day from a lot of media outlets, from many others out there. So just be careful what you believe.
So we kind of lucked out, talking about distortions in the media like we have. We found a great one this weekend. My fiance was in the grocery store yesterday and picked up this publication, the Star News. It's published in Chula Vista in National City, California. It's a freebie. You pick it up for nothing at the grocery store, and the reason she picked it up, she came and she said, we might need it to line our cat box or something like that. And I'd never seen the publication before. I think few people have, but I decided to look inside, and I found something pretty interesting I'm going to show you. Inside the publication, there's a cartoon plays perfectly into my idea about how sea level is not rising. But they have this cartoon. Can you see this? I'll show it better. I'll show another image. But talking about making tree rings seem like the ocean level is increasing. I'll have a better image here in a moment. But anyway, the editor of the paper is a man named Carlos Davalos. Now, his office is 2 miles from San Diego Bay in a nice bayside park there. He did not bother to go down to the bay and actually check to see if himself if the sea level is rising. Of course it's not, we know that already. But this is the kind of propaganda that publications like this, fortunately nobody's going to see this because nobody sees this, nobody reads this paper. Again, it's a freebie. They can't charge anything for it, obviously, and Joan only brought it home to use for, maybe we might paint something or use it to line our cat box. But again, this whole idea of the sea level rise, this paper and Carlos, they know nothing. They're just parroting the lies that they're hearing from everybody else, and that's the danger that we're in from places like this. So again, keep in mind, it's not happening. I showed you that already. And just be careful what you believe.
Because we're going to use some copyrighted images from the Star News, I want to make this a fair use claim and categorically state that we believe we are using this fairly under the rules of the copyright laws. Here is a close-up image of that cartoon from the Star News where he's trying to make the claim that unless we basically shut down our modern society and civilization as we know it by a bunch of silly goals that's shown on that chart, that we're going to end civilization as we know it and flood the oceans with hundreds of feet of water that is not there now. Of course, it's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. The cartoonist is a guy named Joe Heller. I went to his website, and you can only see one of the images besides this one because otherwise you need to be a member newspaper of his cartoons. Here is another one of Joe Heller's editorial cartoons. On the left, you'll see how he's slamming quarterback Aaron Rodgers for basically exercising his free speech rights and his rights to determine what goes into his own body. Of course, we know that only works for certain parts of our society. Only certain people get to have free speech, and only certain people get to determine what happens to their body. That's been stated for many, many years. But on the right side of the screen, you see Aaron Rodgers' very reasonable explanation for why he's not getting the vaccines. And whether or not you agree with that, don't you think he's maybe attendant to what goes into his body? Meet Carlos Davalos, the editor of the Star News. He did not bother to check to see himself. He could have done it easily by driving 2 miles down to the bay and seeing what's going on down there. There is no sea level rise. So I guess if you run into Carlos in the grocery store, give him some water wings, and so he doesn't have to worry about drowning when the sea level floods his office eventually. Anyways, people like him are a danger to our freedom and a danger to our income. Thanks for watching this installment of Peddling the Climate Hoax. Please like and subscribe and check back off when we will continually add. Next, we're going to have the nonsense about the bike lanes and bus routes here in San Diego, so please come back.